Toss it over to our commentators, Wave Punk and Final Carpet. All yours.
Thanks, Golden Boy. I'm Wave Punk, joined here again by my good friend Findable Carpet. And Findable, we have the number 12 team up against Flipside Tactics, a dynasty in EU. And I would say this is Flipside's to lose, but after today, all bets are off. I don't know.
No, we've had a lot of upsets, and I love seeing upsets. It gets everybody hyped, gets everybody riled up. Flipside Tactics, they may not be as high as they usually are on the community rankings,
right?
But they're Flipside Tactics.
Yeah.
They just have this legend that follows them. They're insane. All three of them are so powerful. Hopefully, we're going to get to see some fancy stuff come out of Cooks here. He tends to be a little bit of a flashier player, but they're all insanely great. But obviously, Absolution got here for a reason. They worked hard to make it to this stage. And after we've seen what we've seen today, obviously, and at least as far as EU goes, competition seems to make these guys want to play because they're bringing it.
Yeah, we've had Absolution is number 12 in the power rankings right now, but they took third in Gfinity. They beat Crown and Jewels and the Flying Dutchmen, who are doing excellent today. They've beat them just this past week, and just like the other number 13 team and number 11 teams that have been like just dominating, popping heads and taking names on the top of the brackets, I have nothing to say other than just I'm excited to watch this game.
I feel like we should just stop talking about rankings because it clearly doesn't matter today.
Doesn't matter.
Ranks mean nothing today. It's just a mess, which is so cool to see, and it shows that a lot of these teams, under the right pressure, can bring what they need or can't bring what they need.
Yep. Who is a player on Flipside that you're looking to see make big plays in this matchup?
I can't even pick one. I honestly can't pick one. I've watched them all from streams or in games or have casted. I actually have yet to cast them, which I'm excited to. Yeah, I've yet to cast Flipside Tactics, and yeah, that's how I feel about Weedham Girls too. Like they're just so fun to watch. They do some really interesting stuff. They were talking about lateral passes, but I guess we'll see what they can bring right now.
We'll be getting into the game here. We have Flipside in the orange and Absolution in the blue. Absolution's going to win the kickoff right away. Ninja going to be pushing that one up onto the wall. Cookser's going to be able to carry that back out. Mysterio reads it well, putting it back into the corner. Some nice early aggression coming out here from Absolution, with Elan going to be able to push this one up here. Marky Duda trying to read that one. A little bit of back and forth here at midfield, but the ball's sitting well in the orange corner right now.
Not a whole lot going on right now. Flipside making sure that they've got the rotations. They're getting beat a little bit to a few balls, but nothing dangerous, nothing scary. They just need to make sure that they both understand what they're up against and then they fight for what they need.
Great hit there from Cookser. Follow-up from Mike Rules. Send that one on net. Ninja's able to clear that one out and away. Great follow-up from Kalen. Send that one flying downfield. If Ninja can get up into this one, doesn't quite get the touch he wants, but all of Flipside is very loose on defense. They're able to get the clear. Mike Rules now kind of in a 1v1 situation with Kalen. Tries to bounce it off of Kalen. Again, to get the demo there, relieving that pressure, but there was no one to follow up behind him, so we still have a scoreless game within the first minute.
Well, we just saw that 1v1. You never want to go 1v1 against Mike or Marky or Cooks here. Impressive on the goalie to kind of sit in the right position. He maybe should have challenged out a little quicker, but he didn't have a whole lot of angles, and he just had to slam it at the goalie. Didn't bounce in his favor, but again, those are situations you want to minimize in a game like this.
Oh, here's Kalen with a tearaway opportunity. Cookser, great defensive player, able to get that one far away. It's a second save from Cookser, but Ninja able to thread the needle. They strike first.
Not the best defensive rotations here coming out of Flipside. Cooks here barely made it in time, and no one really filled his spot, and then a late challenge. I wasn't able to catch the nameplate on that. It was either Mike or Mark. Mike or Mark.
Yeah, right.
These names are going to kill me.
I'm sorry, dude. Been struggling with that one for a while. But yeah, Absolution, they're gonna strike first here, go up 1-0 with 3:39 left to play, and they are coming back strong hard on the offense again. Cooks are gonna be able to pick this one up from them, push it up into the blue corner. Jinja is back on defense right now. All three players kind of stacked up really close to each other on Team Absolution, but there's not gonna be any capitalization from Cookser. Flipside Tactics, nice shot there from Marky. My goodness, I thought it hit the crossbar.
These bounce shots are so hard to predict. He came off the wall really easily here, and he just barely beat Ginger Ninja. Oh, I think I heard you earlier say Jinja. I kind of like the combination of his name there.
Right?
Jinja. Yeah. But he beat him there, and no one on Absolution was actually prepared for that because they saw their teammate over there.
Yep, nope. That was a good play there. We'll see how that can happen as we move forward. We're all tied up. 3:17 left to go. This ball sitting right at midfield as Kalen's able to pick it up and put it on net. Nobody back. What was this defensive rotation?
They got to be careful. They're so good at offense, but they need to make sure they have the defense. They lost that 50-50 very promisingly, and no one contested a second touch or drop back. It's one of those situations where when you see that you've lost the ball, either get to net or get to ball.
Yep, and just like we were saying beforehand, we have a 1-point lead right now for Absolution, number 12 team. So like you're saying, power rankings, who cares right now? This
out
is
the
just
window. Top
of Rocket League right now. Cookser 97 to push this one up to Mike, who's up in the corner. He's going to pass it back to Cookser again. He's going to wrap the corner here. Kalen's going to try and press this one out as Mysterio falls back onto defense. Mysterio coming up hard, going to take a shot. Can anyone get up and into it? They go. 2 people pinch the ball away. Great clear there. They overcommitted on the defense, but they were able to clear it so hard it didn't matter. Now Mike Rules has a counterplay, flying it up into the corner. Mysterio's able to set it back down. Marky has an opportunity. He gets up into it, but not quite there. Ball still's in front of goal. Mike can't get the touch he wants either. Mysterio going to try and push this one up on the way, but Cookser comes up from the back, able to push it over and around the corner, sitting in front of goal here. It's falling back to about 50 mark. Mike's able to push it up onto the wall. That was a great opportunity, but they weren't able to capitalize.
Flipside isn't having the constant aggression that I'm used to seeing from them, or the passes really. They're kind of doing solo plays. They're not really taking it. They're not really making opportunities as opposed to trying to take or force opportunities, which I've spoken on before earlier today.
Right.
But Flipside just doesn't have that aggression we're used to, just that non-stop onslaught of shots, just one after the other. I don't know. Maybe it'll take them a game to really gather it up, or maybe just another minute or two.
We'll see what happens. They have pressed the ball back up into the blue, but they gave Jinja so much space there. He was able to push it back out to midfield. Mike's able to play this one up to Marky, who passes it back to Mike again, up in the corner. We'll see if they can set this up here. They got a nice setup there from Marky. That ball's lofted. I'm pretty sure Cookser's all the way back, and he's not going to be able to rotate up and into that one. Keeping the pressure up, though. This ball is still well in the blue territory. They're finally going to back off, let Jinja clear it all the way. Cookser waiting for that one, to be able to get a nice offensive going again. This ball is online. Kalen's up in the air, going to be able to pass this one back down. Marky takes a shot. Online, good speed. Jinja able to get it up into that one. This offensive is still going, though. So much siege happening. You know their defense is going to break if they keep this up.
It seems like Flipside maybe came into this game a little cocky, thinking they were going to get a pretty easy win. I'm sure they haven't had the most difficult of time getting to this stage of the tournament. But they're doing solo plays a little bit too much. They're really not working off each other. Gibbs are talking about, or over at the analyst desk, they were all talking about how they use lateral passes.
What a shot there from Mike. Mysterio getting up and into that one, but like you said, that was very much a solo play. Here they come up with more offense, trying to get this one in. There's an opportunity. Mark's going to bounce it off the crossbar. It's gone off the crossbar so much. Final minute of the game, and they're down by 1.
They need to really just gather it up and make one solid, perfect play with each other. I know it's scary not doing the solo play when you only have 40 seconds left. You're like, I can do this on my own. I don't need to pass it.
Oh, there it is from Cookser, but Mysterio again with the save. Mysterio has been excellent in goal. He's been able to clear this one out. 40 seconds left. They're continuing to pop shots off here at the blue goal, but nothing really there. No one in net. Cookser has an opportunity. He's going to weasel it in. There's the tie.
Oh, no. Absolution was doing a great job of staying on defense. They were actually, they knew they were a goal up, but the problem with Flipside is they're just going to keep doing this. Exactly what we said. They're going to keep taking shots and keep the aggression up until your defense breaks. So Absolution did a good job, but only as long as they could possibly do before the rotation got just a little messed up.
Yep. They rotated 2 out of goal. That left the goal open. Cookser struck fast, punishing that hard. 30 seconds left. Tie game right now. Anyone can take this. We'll see if Flipside's able to do a shot that is on target, but Kalen able to clear that one out. Marky going to put it off the crossbar. He's going to go for the second hit. It's bouncing around. That was crazy. Kalen able to get a savior medal, though. Keep his team clean right now. 15 seconds. Final stretch of the game, and they're striking right now. Jinja trying to push that one out there. Marky, Duda, and Cookser kind of tangled up on each other. This could be bad, but Mysterio was not able to do anything with that. Final countdown, final moments to win this in regulation. Mike takes a shot. Jinja's able to put it off the crossbar. Excellent hit from Jinja, keeping his team alive. And as soon as this ball touches, oh my goodness, they're carried into the other side. Jinja has an opportunity. Oh, and there's the overtime.
Absolution's quick defense has been absolutely awesome. They keep getting back just in time. We're seeing Flipside put these shots on from everywhere and anywhere, and they're all on pace and they're all on speed. But it doesn't matter. Absolution's like, I got this, no problem. Sometimes they'll dedicate 1 or 2 many people, but they haven't suffered from that just yet.
Mike here with kind of an open goal opportunity. Very slow rotation coming out from Absolution to get back onto the defense here as we sit into the first minute of overtime. Jinja passing that one up. There's 2 players going up for Absolution, but they're not going to be able to push that one through. Cookser dribbling on the wall, winning the 1v1. Excellent plays there. Marky hanging back, ready for the shot. There's an opportunity he's going to go up for it. He's going to bounce off the back wall. Cookser keeping this pressure up. Mike's going to be coming from the backfield. He's going to be able to shoot, and he's going to score. There goes game 1.
This is what they excel at so much, taking these shots from all these weird, awkward angles. Doesn't matter to them. And most other people, from the angle Mike Rules came from, he came from the right-hand side, the ball's on the left side. He managed to get around the ball somehow and just smacked it in. It wasn't even like a weak touch.
No.
So confident, and it's what they excel at so well.
Yeah, that mechanical prowess from Mike Rules is going to give them game 1. 7 shots coming out for that man. Top of the scoreboard there. Mike Rules really the MVP.
Absolution put up a great fight. They took the lead early on when Flipside didn't have the rotations they really needed. They really weren't working off of each other. They were doing a lot of solo plays. Towards the end, those last few goals they were able to sink in were the passing plays. But alone, they weren't able to pull it off nearly as much. But Absolution, when they got that point up, they were like, all right, let's keep it. They dropped back on defense. They sat in net, but eventually Flipside, a team like Flipside is going to break it down.
Yeah, that offensive pressure, the 15 shots coming out, or the 13 shots coming out for Flipside Tactics here. 8 saves from Absolution. Really, really strong in goal. But like we've been saying all weekend, those saves is not something you really want to have to do. You know, that means that you're back on your back heels too much.
Exactly. We talked about it earlier. You want to prevent the shot from happening altogether over having to stop a shot with a save. Generally, not the way you want to go about it. You know, especially with these powerhouse teams, they're gonna put insanely fast, quick shots on target, and you just want to not. You don't even want to have to deal with it. You don't want to deal with their shots or want to deal with it. So we'll see if hopefully both teams can really gather up this game.
Absolutely. Absolution has not left anything really to be desired here. They've given an amazing game. They've taken it to Flipside. I have full confidence they'll be able to come back into this game too and continue to be competitive. Marky Duda going to push this one up into the corner. Here's a nice opportunity there. No one touching that one. It's just going to go straight in.
This seemed to be a little bit of a miscommunication. We actually were on board with Mysterio here. He didn't have his ball cam on, and he got up a little bit too late. I think him and Kalon, I want to go with. Him and Kalon both went for the ball. Neither really had the target. That really shouldn't have gone in.
No, but that's going to put a 1-point lead over to Flipside Tactics. 4:45 left to play here in this game number 2. Mysterio's going to pick up that ball control and try to dribble it into the goal. Marky reads him well and keeps that out. 3 Flipside players kind of all stacked up on top of each other. That was an opportunity for Absolution, but there was no one in a position to shoot. Now we're going to see Cookser be able to push this one up. Cookser, a player that we usually see playing with the breakout. Very defensively minded player. Seems to have switched over to the Octane.
Octane, it probably means that he might be doing a little more ground play, or maybe he's just having some fun wanting to try a new car. Sometimes it just feels a little better. But it definitely seems that they're all trying to do a little bit too much.
Oh, here's an opportunity. Jinja Ninja with the back flip. Excellent shot there, but Cookser reads it well, clearing that one out.
Flipside's doing a little bit too much individually. They're not letting each other do their own magic. It seems like every time they get the ball, they want to make the best of it, which is good. You know, like, I want to do this for my team, I want to win. But sometimes it's like, I don't have the best opportunity, but the guy to my right has a better one.
Sure, Kalen there, some great patience, setting up a shot for Jinja Ninja. Wasn't quite on target, though. We're going to still see Flipside with a 1-point lead. Marky Duda trying to dribble this one up and around. 3 Absolution players in the corner. This could be bad. Oh, but there's a little bit of an overcommitment on offense there for Flipside. Mysterio can push this out. Oh, they rotate real slow. Not going to be able to make a counterplay out of that one. It was an opportunity, though. They let go. Oh, Marky with a shot. Jinja Ninja in goal. Going to be able to get the block there. Close one there, having to make that backflip. Not a play you really want to have to make.
Absolution really needs to take advantage of the few opportunities Flipside's going to give them. You know, they're going to hope they...
Oh, what a shot from Marky. Coming from the backfield, off the back wall, putting it in 2-0.
This is not the kind of thing you want to let it happen. Absolution had 2 people in net. They should have contested this. It looked like they both maybe agreed to it. Ginger Ninja just kind of drove underneath it, kind of drove away, and Kalon was not prepared for a shot that fast.
Yeah, 2 people in goal. They kind of decided to both go for it, then decided to not go for it, and then nobody goes for it. Bad situation. 3:18 left to go. 2-0 inside of Flipside. Cooks are pressing the issue again right now. Pushing that one up. That ball's sitting right there. Mike sets it off the back wall again. Cooks are going to try and pass it out. Marky was a little bit too far up. This could be bad. Absolution trying to push up here. They got a nice offensive going here. Ginger's going to pass up to Mysterio, but a good interference, good interception from Mike. Going to clear that one back into the blue half. We'll see if Kalen can pass this one up. A nice aerial pass to Jinja Ninja, putting it in the corner. Cooks is going to be able to get that one back. Mysterio coming from the backfield, keeping this pressure up. Marky high up on the wall. Mike Rule's the only person left back on defense right now, but they're not able to get it past him. And that's going to see the ball going back all the way onto the blue. Nice shot coming out from Marky Dude on a great save from Mysterio. Good defense coming out from Absolution, but they need to be able to balance it out with offense.
Absolution needs to take a bit advantage of the offense. When you put Flipside Tactics on their back feet, they're a little uncomfortable. This is a team that's used to being aggressive and in the opposing side.
Oh, here's an opportunity. Jinja Ninja able to put that one off to the side there. A really close one going off the crossbar and off that backboard. Right here at halftime, we still have not seen any points on the board yet for Absolution.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of aggression. They really haven't been able to take control. They'll put it over and... Oh,
I really thought they were going to be able to clear that one out. It was dropping right down onto his hood. They weren't able to get there. Mike being able to set this one up off the backboard. He kind of pinches it right there in the corner between the roof and the ceiling. You see it come straight down on Mysterio, but he actually doesn't kill any of the side momentum and able to put it off the wall.
Those touches ruin everyone's perception of what's about to happen. Some people are really good at predicting them. Sometimes it's just hard to tell if it's going to hit that top corner or not.
Yeah, the pressure coming out from, I think it was Marky, was flying in there. You know, that's sort of, when that happens, that's going to be really hard to read here. 2:04 left to go, 3-0. favor of Flipside Tactics. They are striking here again, trying to get it in there. That ball is sitting on the sideline. Marky Duda going to do some nice backwards driving, keep this pressure up. Excellent card control. Mysterio able to put it up on the wall. Try to dribble this out. Mike Rules set that ball up. Who is going to come from the back? There was Cooks there trying to get there. You know the Marky's coming too, and there's the shot. Nice block from Kalen.
I saw in chat when I was out a little earlier that everyone was like, when's Flipside coming on? When's Flipside coming on? And, you know, I think everyone's hoping they maybe had a little bit of a better show here, but that shows a lot of...
Oh, Mysterio with an open opportunity. He's able to dribble it in. They got a point on the board, and they got 1:30 left to get 2 more.
They're keeping themselves in this race, and honestly, since Flipside hasn't been doing what they're usually known so far for doing the crazy shots and freestyles, if they're not doing it, that means they're not comfortable doing it. That means Absolution's putting the pressure on and keeping them, or making them play true. And putting a goal, even right now, 1.5 minutes, 2 goals left, very possible.
Absolutely, and that was a really decent kickoff there for Absolution. They weren't aggressive enough, though, on the follow-up to get that goal in. Marky Duda and Mike Rules back on defense right now, going to try and push this one back out. Cookster's going to be able to put it into the corner, try and get a setup for his team here. Mysterio, though, read that one. Nice shot from Marky, going to go a little wide, easy read. Ginger Ninja able to put it up off the wall and try to get a counter play. Great aerial read from Mike Rules, keeping that ball up in the corner. Great offensive pressure here. That ball's crossing wide. Mike Rules had not rotated all the way, though. We see Cooks are coming up from the back. Final minute of the game. What does Absolution need to do?
Absolution needs to kick it into top gear. They need to, it sounds scary, but they almost need to let Flipside kind of come into their half, draw them in, let Flipside get confident, get a good hit, counter one of their touches, and get a counter attack for just to make it a 1-point game.
That's a really good point. They've had a lot of sieges, but that just have not had any capitalization. It might be the counter play that's going to be able to win them this game. 38 seconds left. They still need 2 points. Marky Duda currently with ball control, pushing this one up into blue half. And we'll take it from him, put it back. Mysterio and Kalen up in this corner. Not a great position, and Cookster's able to get the touch there. Carry it past him. That ball is going to be all the way into the other blue corner. Mike Rules following along here, tracking along with Kalen. Really great read from Mike Rules. My goodness, that ball is going to hit the crossbar. They're going to be able to keep that one from setting up again, but Marky's flying from the back, keeping the pressure up. Final 15 seconds of this game. They have to score now if they want to be able to force another game here. Putting it up and away, up and on the top. Mike Rules going off to the back wall. Final countdown. That ball sitting right in front of goal. Not able to get it in there. This ball is counting down, and I think at this point, this game is going to Flipside.
There's really no coming back. 0 seconds left, and this somehow managed to cheat the system, get a double goal.
There he goes.
Absolution put up a great fight. Honestly, I know everyone is super excited to see Flipside, and you see some crazy stuff usually coming out of Flipside, and just you didn't this game. They weren't really touching to each other. They were maybe trying to do a little too many solo plays.
Yeah.
But Absolution really was able to keep the games pretty minimal.
Yeah, there was a lot more evenness, I think, on offense and defense. We saw a little bit more lopsided in game 1, but we'll see what they have to say about this over on the analyst desk. Golden Boy, back to you.
Congratulations to Flipside Tactics. They're going to go on to the next round of face-off against Kapow. But this is just, I mean, honestly, man, like, this team looked great. A lot of fans were happy about that. You guys had mentioned before, I think, Gibbs, you were telling me during the match that Flipside is like the EU version of Cosmic, where,
the fan favorite.
Fan favorites. Everyone loves rooting for them. But Absolution, man, put on one heck of a fight, though. Wouldn't you agree?
Hats off to Absolution. They came out and were like, we're going to make 20 million saves this game. We don't care what Flipside throws at us. And that's really hard because Marky and Mike have the best shot locations in the game. And somehow Absolution was keeping them at bay.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were talking about, like, there's some shots that we've seen Marky, we know he can make those hits, those aerial touches that are just kind of like an inverted hit. But the biggest problem that I saw was actually on Absolution, they grouped so hard on defense. Like, that's the reason why they're able to make all those stops. But the issue is you need to transition that into an offensive game. Like the casters were talking, they need to sink those guys in and get them to commit and then get a big rotation out and kind of, switch the field. I mean, that's the only way they were going to be able to get it back into it.
Yeah.
Talking about game 1 highlights, though, one thing that Findable Carpet had noted quite a bit was if you keep attacking, eventually they're just going to give up. Like, eventually you're going to get through. That is exactly what Flipside did here. Just constant aggression. And granted, you said it before, right? Absolution, 50 million saves, right? They did everything that they possibly could.
Except there were 60 million shots. So
exactly.
So they had to let a couple in.
I mean, that's a lot of shots in a 5-minute game of Rocket League. But yeah, and again, they were able to come out strong out the gate. Just couldn't find anything after.
I mean, that was the perfect example of it right there. I mean, they had them sunk in. And then they just had a good clear. I mean, there was a wide open net. Why didn't they do that more? I mean, it's just, they did not look confident on the defense other than, confidence in their saving abilities. You need to transition that into a clear. It's the only way you're going to get back out of it.
And Absolution, they had great saves, but then once in a while they would come back down to human form
Right.
and just make a bad touch, and Flipside is gonna punish that every time.
Did you feel like we saw the lateral play that you had mentioned before from Flipside?
Oh, actually, I didn't see any of it, and that might have been because of Absolution. They didn't allow those 2-on-1 counterattacks,
Right.
really, because they kept so many people back. Now, of course, it's hard to score that way, but to beat Flipside, sometimes it is good to, hey, just let them shoot on us, and we'll try and get some counterattacks. And in Game 1, they showed that. They had 2 great counterattacks and made it close and went to overtime.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we didn't probably see much lateral play simply because it was all vertical. They were always on the other team's side. Like, there was very little time. And if it was either a big clear or a couple touches and then pushed right back out. So, I mean, if there's that going on, it's very tough for them to have to break it down and kind of do what they're doing as we see on a regular.
Of course, we got to talk about Game 2, though, right? Game 2, my big takeaway here was that there were opportunities that Absolution had. One in particular was, I think the ball was just sitting right in front of the Flipside net. It was right there, and he goes in for the bicycle kick. Not quite sure who it was. Goes in for the bicycle kick, and it was a weak hit, right?
Yeah.
They just couldn't push their advantages. You guys had cited nerves potentially on that. I mean, honestly, there's just a bunch of things that could have played a factor there. But Gibbs, I want to get your thoughts on this one here because Flipside looked great.
The worst thing that happened to RG in Game 2 was 13 seconds in, they had a flub on defense and just let up a free goal that was very savable, and that probably hurt their morale a ton.
Definitely.
But Mike rules here, like, this ball is so hard to save because you don't think it's going to drop down like that, perfectly down. And the goalie tried to pop it out to the side. That's one thing that Absolution did really well, was when they made saves, they would throw it to the corners, waste some time so their players could get back and then have all 3 in net again. And
But I mean, that's the issue. I mean, even though you're throwing it into the corner, you need to push that out. Like, I don't care how much it's in the corner. You saw how many shots those guys were putting on net. If it's in the corner, there's just a matter of another rotation to put it in front of the net and have someone like Markey fly to nowhere and just crush it.
Yeah, they needed that second guy to come out of net and then play that ball off the corner, or at least challenge it and make it a 50-50. Because 50-50s on defense are actually pretty good for you because if it bounces hard pretty much anywhere, then it's going to be clear because it's going to go off a wall.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you saw it, and it was a consistent thing in both games. Roughly when you get kind of that third, fourth possession change, right around the 3:30, 3:40 mark, Markey always scored. It was consistent in both games. He scored once at 3:22 and again at 3:20 at the exact same point, the exact same play. So it's like, okay, if this stuff is happening consistently, you need to recognize, okay, we seem to be falling for the same trap, but let's do something about it.
All right, folks. Well, I mean, guys, of course, brilliant breakdown as always. Flipside Tactics moves on to the next round with their face-off against Kapow. And to my understanding, that is an advancement match. Yes. So that is going to be a big, big game to watch. But coming up next, the story of the tournament has been, what the heck is going on with We Dem Girls? Well, we are going to find out as We Dem Girls faces off against Crown and Jewels. And here's the kicker, folks. Only one of these teams will make it to the group stage, not both. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Of course, guys, this has been an intense day of Rocket League, and we thank you so much for joining us. Join us in just a second, though, because we have We Dem Girls versus Crown and Jewels. It's an advancement match, and we'll see you after this.